Today, we celebrate Ukraine. We're here with the Tryzub Ukrainian Dance Society. We've been around Calgary for just about 50 years, so we just finished celebrating our 45th anniversary, started working on our 50th. We've been with GlobalFest since the beginning. At GlobalFest, you've got cultures from all over the world. And we're very honored to be the only group that represents Ukraine at GlobalFest. And we do that in a number of ways. We represent Ukrainian dance on all stages at GlobalFest, the main stage, the two smaller stages. We used to run a cultural pavilion. We've stopped that in recent years. But we used to do Ukrainian crafts and cultural displays and costume displays. Maybe odd for a Ukrainian dance group, but we've kind of expanded into the catering side, and we run the Ukrainian kitchens. We now have two. We started with one, we now have two. The first year we opened as a pavilion, we ran out of food in 20 minutes. The pierogies were gone. It was the only time that's ever happened. So, after that, I think we've almost sold 500,000 dozen pierogies at GlobalFest. I think the highlight probably was the 10th anniversary, I think, where we performed with Kensington Sinfonia. So to live orchestrated music. And that carried right on into the fireworks. So that was really cool too. Tryzub just toured Ukraine. Our artistic director, Shane Gibson, put together a show based on, his recent visits to Ukraine. And in the last 6 years, there's been an active war in Ukraine's eastern border. People are still dying every day on that border. And he did a show inspired by that conflict. We've toured it across Canada, and we kind of closed the show in Ukraine, celebrating sort of our 45th anniversary. We toured a number of different cities. In one particular city, it was a training center for their military, Kropivnitsky, and it was our first official performance of that show in Ukraine. And there was Ukrainian military, Canadian military, because they're there on a training mission. In my decades of dance, I've never experienced anything like that. People were crying and people were chanting, and we had audience members rushing the stage after the show with flowers, and military men moved. So it was super special to go back and knowing that the show that you're performing there really meant something. Not only did the dancers go, but we extended it to our entire society. So a lot of families went. My family went. I brought my kids with me. They actually were lucky enough to perform a little bit in the show. And then my parents came as well. So my dad is from Ukraine. We did find some relatives. Ukrainian hospitality is second to none. They didn't have a lot, like by Canadian standards. Their home was very small. They put on an absolute feast for us. Something that looked like Christmas dinner for a North American family. And really, they had nothing to give, but they had everything to give. And we all learned a lot. So our website's super easy, www.tryzub.ca. All the information is on there. We have students ranging from 3 to 50 plus years old. You don't need to be Ukrainian, you just need to love to dance.